Hi, I'm Azmi. We're from Group 2. We're going to present about JOLLIBEE with our scope country, the UAE. Before we start with the 4 Ps, I'm going to do a brief introduction of what JOLLIBEE is. Well, JOLLIBEE is a Philippines fast food chain. Well, it all started in 1975 when a guy named Tony Tan Chat Tong opened a Magnolian ice cream parlor. Later on, he had hot foods, fried chicken, and also hamburgers. Thus, in 1978, the first JOLLIBEE restaurant was born. Because there was a lot of Philippines working outside of the country, especially in Western and also Middle Eastern country, Tony Tan Chat Tong decided to open his store internationally and also have a goal to conquer the world with his fast food. Thus, in 2015, the first JOLLIBEE restaurant in the UAE was opened, which is in Dubai Mall. Currently, there's 1,130 restaurants in the Philippines and also 234 restaurants internationally. JOLLIBEE envisioned the importance of family values where people with their family eating in their restaurant. The critical point that they ensure to maintain their success are the food quality, service, price-value relationship, store location and ambience, and also efficient operation. Now let's move on to challenges and problems that JOLLIBEE had faced or are still facing in trying to globalize their brand, especially opening a store in UAE. Well, the first is the problem of established competitors. Well, JOLLIBEE had just recently opened their first store in UAE in 2015, which was in Dubai Mall, more or less 6 years ago. However, they have competitors that is way more established than them and had opened longer. For example, McDonald's firstly opened their store in UAE in 1994 and KFC opened their first store in UAE was in 1974. Due to that, their competitors had more established fans and they had more food items that catered to fit in with the taste buds of the locals and more food items that is specialized made for the local. And secondly, the problem of cultural differences. Well, the first reason JOLLIBEE opened a store internationally is to cater for Filipinos that is working overseas. However, there are brands that is trying to become the global culture or in a part of cultural globalization. JOLLIBEE need to become a part of that to penetrate the local market to actually gain more market share. And thirdly, the problem of falling acquisition. In 2019, they saw a dip in the falling acquisition and the falling of market share of JOLLIBEE. However, that in the face of they are doing their expansion, and in 2020 where they are trying to open 600 more stores is internationally, it was postponed due to the pandemic, the COVID-19. Due to that, the acquisition is falling much worse and the market share for them is falling much worse. Now I'll pass to my colleagues to go more into depth of the 4 Ps.
A very good morning to Dr. Tina Ranjani and all my fellow friends. My name is Najiha. So now I will explain further about the first 4 Ps of JOLLIBEE, which is product. As you know, JOLLIBEE is from Philippines and it is a very popular fast food restaurant there. JOLLIBEE is focusing on the specific tastes of the Filipino market to attract them to choose JOLLIBEE over other fast food restaurants. JOLLIBEE serves many types of fast food such as chicken joy, french fries, mango fish pie, hamburger, and many more. Chicken joy is one of the key products of JOLLIBEE and all around the world that comes with breaded crispy chicken meal. Okay, now we go deep to its product comparison between JOLLIBEE in Philippines and JOLLIBEE in Dubai. As we know, Philippines is a non-Muslim country that is not emphasizing on halal products. Their culture did not emphasize to serve halal foods even there are minor populations of Muslims there. So, JOLLIBEE in Philippines is serving non-halal foods at its fast food restaurant. To attract the Filipinos and always be the #1 fast food chain restaurants for them, JOLLIBEE serves Philippines popular food such as pancit palabok. Pancit palabok is a delicious Filipino noodle dish that uses bihun noodles that is served with pork. Other than that, it also served with shrimp, slice of boiled eggs, and many more. It also comes with JOLLIBEE delicious house pancit palabok sauce that is more delicious and tasty. The sauce is made from scratch, which we prepared with the stock of the head and shells of the shrimp to be used in the dish. Okay, while in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, JOLLIBEE was served halal foods as it is a Muslim country. It also served biryani rice, which is also famous in Dubai. In Malaysia, We know it as nasi biryani, which is really tasty and delicious. I know most of the Malaysians had ever tried nasi biryani. For those who ever did not try it yet, you should try it at the restaurants out there. So it is same with biryani rice in Dubai. JOLLIBEE biryani rice comes with the combination of Jollibee's chicken joy and its delicious sauce. By selling biryani rice in Dubai, JOLLIBEE can attract more locals when they serve the popular foods rather than serve its home country food. So we know that the comparison between JOLLIBEE in Philippines and JOLLIBEE in Dubai in terms of products is its popular foods and halal foods, as they have a different culture and beliefs. So now, we move to its standardization or adaptation of JOLLIBEE products in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. The adaptation that JOLLIBEE can use to stay afloat in other countries is JOLLIBEE have to make a further research about Dubai cultures and foods. The customers will be attracted to a restaurants that have their favorite foods instead of trying a new foods that they are not familiar. Then, JOLLIBEE have to adapt its menus for different cultures in Dubai, which trying to figure out how they can make the menus that can be accepted by the people in Dubai. For example, JOLLIBEE's Chicken Joy. Chicken Joy that can be eaten with anything. So, JOLLIBEE decided to serve biryani rice with its delicious chicken joy and sauce to make it more special. Other than that, JOLLIBEE also have to apply for United Arab Emirates halal certifications to make sure that they serve halal foods to the Muslims there. JOLLIBEE also can serve non-halal food as what is served at its home country in order to attract the major populations in Dubai, which is most of them is Muslims. Muslims really emphasize on halal foods in their daily life as it is a regulation in their religion. Then, JOLLIBEE will be accepted by Dubai citizens and will be their chosen fast food restaurants there.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Amira and I'm going to present about JOLLIBEE price. JOLLIBEE knows their target audience very well, which are traditional family, and all communication materials that they use is focused on the importance of family values, and this making JOLLIBEE the #1 family fast food chain in Philippines and a growing international QSR player. So customer satisfaction always been their #1 mission. And these are the price comparison for Philippines and Dubai's JOLLIBEE, where we can see for the same meal set for both countries, almost all the prices are more expensive in Dubai. So the reasons behind the difference in pricing is because the cost of living in both countries, where the cost of living in Dubai are much more higher than Philippines, where cost of living in Dubai are 2.5 times higher than in Philippines. Other than putting the price higher in Dubai because of their higher purchasing power, this also because of their high GDP per capita, where people live in Dubai could make 8.2 times more money higher than people living in Philippines. Other than that, people that living in Dubai usually they will pay 2.2 times higher pricing for restaurants compared to Philippines, and this include fast food restaurants, where if the company wants to success in their global marketing expansion, they need to follow geographical pricing, where they price their goods and services according to geographical factors such as cost of living, average income, legislation, taxes, and of course supply and demand. And other than taking economy into consideration for their pricing, the pricing strategy that JOLLIBEE also use is competitor-based pricing, where JOLLIBEE is a price taker that must accept the going market price determined by the forces of demand and supply. Their products are priced with the going rate or in line with the price charged by direct competitors that they have in each country. When entering international market, firms have to adapt or standardize their marketing mix. For pricing in JOLLIBEE, adaptation is more suitable to be used, as standardizing price means that the head office decide to fix price that is applied in all international markets without taking into consideration the factors that stated in the slide. So standardized is frequently used by companies in B2B markets rather than in B2C market, because people in B2B market are less price sensitive. Taking local conditions of the country, adaptation is the best way to be used by JOLLIBEE in their global franchise, and this includes Dubai. For example, they need to consider the difference in pricing for each country caused by their customer preferences. For example, they need to produce halal product or not, or their product based on their local foods like biryani for Dubai, nasi lemak for Malaysia. As the cost of getting ingredients of each product are different and also vary in different countries, therefore they should adapt with that at every country they want to open their franchise. They also need to take competitive advantage into account if they're McDonald's in that country or not, and also the cost situation, inflation, exchange rates of the country, also regulation, tariff and duties that may vary for each country. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. My name is Aimi and I'm gonna continue with the placement and distribution of JOLLIBEE. So on the slides we can see the tables that shows the comparison between JOLLIBEE UAE and JOLLIBEE Philippines. For the number of stores, there are huge difference between these two countries because JOLLIBEE UAE just reintroduced their first store in 2015, while JOLLIBEE Philippines has opened their store since 1975. So based on the number of the stores in UAE, for now they're only focusing on cities and towns, mostly in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, to open their stores. Different from the Philippines, they already reached the suburbs community. Next is where we can find the JOLLIBEE stores. We can find JOLLIBEE stores in UAE in the malls, street stores, and also JOLLIBEE on wheels. While in Philippines, they have private buildings and also frozen chicken that can be found at the supermarket. And for the food delivery, both are available for the food delivery, but only certain in UAE because they are still focusing on the cities and town. And for the drive-thru, the reason why UAE doesn't have a drive-thru is because they don't have the private building that have more space for drive-thru. And different from the Philippines, they have several private buildings for JOLLIBEE, so they can have a drive-thru for the customer. So why is JOLLIBEE focusing on Dubai and Abu Dhabi to open these stores? This is because JOLLIBEE's expansion in UAE are targeting the OFWs, which is overseas Filipino worker. That's why they reach to areas which have large number of Filipinos, which is Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Al Ain. JOLLIBEE want to give these OFW a job opportunities and give the large number of Filipinos that live in UAE to taste of home of their tasty Filipinos menus. But nevertheless, they focus on Filipinos. JOLLIBEE also works well on UAE because the 98% of the consumers in the UAE are expatriates. Most of them are comparatively low income, working class consumers who rely on the food service for their meals. And not only that, the local and the tourists also like JOLLIBEE because the environment of JOLLIBEE really give the Philippines vibes in the stores. Next is for the adaptation. JOLLIBEE UAE has adapted some visual environment, such as they have using Arabic in the menus and also the signboard name, and also they are using the local delivery apps such as Talabat to delivery JOLLIBEE to their customer. And for this standardization, same with the other country, JOLLIBEE are focusing their Filipinos placement to open their store, and the interior design also same with other country. So what's good is JOLLIBEE UAE also providing the JOLLIBEE on wheels. Not all countries have providing this facility, so they can easily reach their customer around the city. And for the recommendation is I suggest that Jollibee UAE should give some Arabic or luxury design to attract the local customer and open some private buildings so they can have the drive-through for the customer. So that's all from me. Thank you.
So hi everyone, my name is Nabila and I'm going to continue to the promotional part. So as we all know, promotional element can be divided into 5 parts: public relations, direct marketing, self-promotion, advertising, and also personal selling. So I made research on these 5 elements about Jollibee in Philippines, also in Dubai. So let's first take a look at the first one, which is the public relation. So you can see on the slide that Philippines social media have many more followers compared to Dubai, but both countries do update their social media every day. But Jollibee in Philippines content on their social media are more attractive and eye-catching. And special about Jollibee in Philippines, their YouTube channel, they have these videos known as Kwentong Jollibee, and this Kwentong Jollibee is a fitting testament to the Filipinos' deep affinity with the brand that is made even stronger by memorable experiences shared with friends and family. So leverage on popular significant celebrations, Kwentong Jollibee, they release tales based on the Filipino shared moments of joy during this occasion. So this is a very effective way to create brand awareness, and comparing to the YouTube of Jollibee in Dubai, they focus more on just doing a video about their products, and sometimes people may don't have the interest to watch it. So maybe Jollibee in Dubai, they should find uniqueness in their video content. And for direct marketing, based on my research, I could not find any info regarding Jollibee focusing on their direct marketing. And I even went to Jollibee here in Sabah just to do research about direct marketing and ask their staff, but I am not sure if it's only in Sabah like that. Okay, so the next one, let us move on to the sales promotion element. So if you go to their websites, the Philippines Jollibee website looks less attractive compared to Dubai, but that is only from my opinion. And the moment you open their website, the Dubai one, it looks very welcoming and attractive. And also they do advertising like posters about the promotion that they are having. Looking at the personal selling element, where this is the promotional element when the staff meet the customers and make face-to-face interaction. Since the only research I can make here is in Sabah, then I can judge it based on my experience from here, whether they really follow their mission or not, which I provide in the slide, their mission. And personally, yes, I love environment and the vibes that I get from the staffs there. But looking at their mission, I am sure that their personal selling elements in both Philippines and Dubai is good too. And that is me on the slide at Jollibee in Center Point, Kota Kinabalu, Sabah, because I'm actually very curious of the personal selling of Jollibee. Okay guys, now let us look at the last element, which is advertising. So advertisements are messages paid for by those who send them and are intended to inform or influence people who receive them. This is defined by the Advertising Association of the UK. So you see, in Philippines, I saw on their Twitter, they do celebrating branding with their local artists, and they use all social media as an everyday platform for their advertisement of posters, videos, or to advertise their promotion that they have. While for Dubai's Jollibee, I didn't find them doing any other advertisements other than using their social medias, but I think that's quite okay also. And okay, for the last part of my presentation, which is the standardization and also the adaptation of their promotion elements. So for my opinion, Jollibee in Dubai, they should also do like in Philippines, where their content of social media, especially YouTube, they focus a lot on making local videos. And the next one, for now, yes, Jollibee have their loyal customer, but nowadays there are so many competitors, and I think they should start doing their direct marketing because customer intention is very important. And last but not least, Jollibee in Dubai, they should also be consistently in all of their social media like in the Philippines, because from my research, their content of promotion is not as active as in Philippines. So that's all from me. Thank you.
So in conclusion, Jollibee has things to improve so they can reach their goal of a global brand awareness. Most probably they could improve their food item to fit in with the geographical or local taste expectation, or they can promote their product as a cultural globalization where their food can be enjoyed with everyone no matter their race or belief. And maybe one day we can see Jollibee in West Malaysia too. I'll be excited if Jollibee were to open a restaurant in West Malaysia here. So that's all from us. Thank you.